I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
You know, if you go out and you want to buy groceries, you need a picture on a card. You need ID.
He wants to host next year's G7 summit at his own Doral Golf Club.
Got to take care of the floors, you know, the floors of the forests. Very important. Frederick Douglass is an example of somebody who's done an amazing job and is being recognized more and more, I notice.
Ivanka Trump, the president's daughter, is sitting in for the Secretary of State.
That incredible night with the maps, and the Republicans are red, and that map was so red from Sachin Tendulkar to Virat Kohli.
Trump tweeting, "The New York Times, they are a true enemy of the people."
I think we have enough of an interview here, Hope. Okay, that's enough. Let's go.
This Russian bounty story, we have multiple sources saying that Trump knew all along.
I was there for a tiny, little short period of time, and it was much more for an inspection. There was no problem during the day.
And said, quote, "Crazy Joe Biden, he doesn't know me, but he would go down fast and hard, crying all the way."
They'll go out and they'll vote, and they're going to have to go and check their vote by going to the poll and voting that way. People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once.
The State Department is emphasizing to world leaders that they should stay at Donald Trump's hotels.
And they say the noise causes cancer. You tell me that one, okay?
Trump ordered Robert Mueller, the special prosecutor, be fired. The factory policy is wear a mask at all times, and Trump puts on... All right, we're not going to go through the whole thing today just because I have so much to talk about. So that we'll have to pick it up where we left off at some point in the future. Let's put it that way. Welcome, everybody. So great to see any number of different people here. We have a very packed schedule today. We're going to hopefully soon hear from Joe Biden with a very strong announcement about electric vehicles. I'm excited for it. And it is just such a pleasure to be here today. And kicking us off, David Chadman has already gifted 20 subs via Twitch. And Michael Bach has signed up. And we actually have... Usually, there's just no real reason to promote getting to 100. But today, we actually have something special. I have already recorded on spec, as we say in the business, not one but 2 videos touring my backyard garden, which is really strong right now. And I have them ready to go. If we get to 100 today, I will debut heretofore unseen 2021 garden videos, okay? And we have all sorts of different elements of nightshades and fruits and vegetables, and it's just crazy what's going on. So those are ready. Those are ready. And in order to make it even more hype, Twitch subs count, joinpacman.com, of course counts, but Patreon today will count double. Every new Patreon pledge today, from the standpoint of getting to 100, counts as 2, okay? So then Cukes, Zooks, I'm going to be showing people eggplants if things go right. So a lot of very exciting things, all right? So let's get right into it. Where to even start? Where do I want to start? Oh, I guess... Oh, there's just so much. I don't even know where to start today. Oh, okay. Just to get it out of the way, because a lot of people aren't even here yet. Hold on. Let me see if I've got this 17th. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm just going to get this out of the way now because for a lot of people consider this to be trash. Here's a new Jimmy from Philly voicemail. I'm kind of cleaning out the computer. It's almost like a disinfection, as Trump says. We're bleaching the computer, just getting stuff off of it. Here's a Jimmy from Philly thing. Oh, wait a second. Where are we? Oh, it's muted. Hold on. Here we go.
David, Jimmy from Philly. So I just now sent you an email.
Oh.
Tucker Carlson program titled Plastic Literature Out, Sexual Propaganda In. I just want to see you cover it so the Harm Bastard can so he can cover it.
I don't understand a word of it. All right, so that's deleted. We've cleared that out of the computer. Everybody relax. Super chats are working fine. There just aren't any super chats, but they will pop up on the screen. Okay, so that's the Jimmy from Philly stuff, and we've gotten that out of the way. I have a new caller. Oh, wait a second. This is, yeah, here's another head up your ass type caller. Listen to this.
Hey, David, the only reason I'm calling is because your show is in between my two favorite channels. And while flipping through, I saw your phone number.
Okay.
So while I disagree with almost everything you say vehemently, and I think you should pull your head out of your ass and then go hang yourself because you're
Oof.
a pile of shit.
Oh, my God.
Goodbye, good riddance, fucking leftist pile of shit. Piece of
There seemed to have an audio issue at the end there. All right, so there's head up your ass guy. He doesn't like the show. I would ban him, except it's a phone call. Oh, we could ban the voicemail number. Yeah, that's true. Okay, and then I'm not going to do a lot of this. I have 7 voicemails from a guy we're calling New Crazy, and it's just one after the other. Take a listen to this.
Hey, David. So you sit here and say that you were going off of medical advice and science with these vaccinations. Well,
Did he say assassinations? The hell?
maybe you should look into who authorized these vaccinations, because it was not medical people who did, or anyone with
Wasn't it the FDA?
any kind of science background. Would you like to know who authorized these vaccinations? It was the U.S. Postal Service, the false.
Okay, so that's New Crazy. And then they left 7 voicemails. I'll just dip in and out of it. We're not going to do all of it. It's too much.
And you also sit here and say that you go off science and you go off doctors and this and that. But all the news stations that you follow are disinformation. They have been proven to be disinformation by Project Veritas with video.
Oh, Project Veritas. That's who's proven it. All right. Number 3.
You won't speak on Antifa as they burn businesses down, destroying lives every single day. While Maxine Waters fuels Black Lives Matter so that they can.
It's almost like he's reading some kind of strange poem. I don't know. It's almost like maybe this guy's nickname should have something to do with a poem. Instead of I don't know. We'll think about it.
And everything that the Democratic Party do go directly against the Bible.
Everything that the Democratic Party do go against the Bible.
Sex changes, abortions, same-sex marriages. All of that.
All of it.
Goes against the Bible.
All right. This is good because we're making good progress getting through these.
And think about this.
Each of these is 3 minutes, by the way. I'm giving you 10 seconds of each.
Smart guy with all the people that have burnt businesses down. They all have destroyed more lives than they helped. They have done nothing but destroyed lives. Because when you burn a business down, you have now taken away jobs from thousands of people.
Okay. We're almost at the end. Here's number 6.
And have you noticed the prisoner of war flag that flies above the White House? Would you like to know what that is there for? That is for all the children that were found in the tunnels under the White House where they decided that they were going to worship Baal.
Sounds like a hell of a movie, that's for sure. And here's the last one.
Go ahead, David. Go on your show and defame Project Veritas.
Veritas.
And you will be disposed. I bet you won't do it, and I dare you to do it. Please do it.
All right. So that's the new poet, crazy poet. All right. Very good. Thanks to Pikins H. Macy for the Twitch sub, number 22 today. Also, big thank you to Ryan Nowicki and Amandy Lynn, who have pledged via Patreon. That's 2, but Patreon counts double today. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 22, 2 plus 4, 6, carry the 0, 226. And as I mentioned earlier, I have full exclusive video of the backyard garden, and it will be released into the world when we get to 100 today. So something really, really special. I have one unban request. Oh, before I do that, let me get to our 2 super chats. Brian Santango Huevo Martinez Alexander Jr. says, I need to bleach my eardrums, David. Fair. Kevin says, hey, David, in your opinion, will Matt Gaetz be indicted? Even though he wasn't named in the plea bargain, several co-conspirators were implicated. I don't know, but if you gave me an even odds bet, I say he does get indicted. That's where I am right now. A Ferret Queen says menstruating women in public is against the Bible. True? Yeah, okay. Jeremy says this is a comment. It is only a comment. I am saying nothing because doing so is incredibly more useful to discourse than that crazy caller. Well said, Jeremy. Very well said. Okay, when you get banned on Twitch, you have the ability, if you want, to request an unban. One such user has done it, and I will now be adjudicating that request. This is a user who showed up to a recent live stream. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. I'm not even going to say their username. This person clearly wants attention. This user said, it's amazing that anybody gives money to this rich Jew. You're donating to a Jew. Don't you think this, and then they use a K word for Jew, has enough money? And then they repeated that. And then they said, I am unbannable, you Jew rats. They were then banned, and their unban request is Jew rat. So that is a deny and confirm. They have, that is a permit. That's going to be a no for me, dog. Exactly. Well said. Well said. So that is someone relegated to the toilets of the internet. I want to say thank you to Turkey Burger for the Patreon pledge. It does count as 2. So even though it's 1 pledge, it actually gets us to 28. And I also want to say thank you to David Chadman dropping another 20 Twitch subs over on Twitch. So a lot of really strong stuff going on. A few other super chats. Nina says, USPS makes me sign for my package, but not my vaccine. Also, he reminded me of the bring out your dead guy from The Stand. Albix Ruroni says, everything Democrats do is against the Bible. I love how supposed patriots don't know the separation of church and state is in the Bill of Rights. Oh, yeah, the most so-called patriotic people often are really the most anti-American. It's something else. Jody says, nice lid today. And by lid, Jody means hair. Yeah, it's not bad today. It's yeah. It's not, oh, this back here is a little weird, but what can you do? Oh, I got so many reactions to my post yesterday, to my video yesterday about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I'm going to give you guys, this is a very special little insight. We didn't get that many emails because I just tend not to about foreign policy stuff, but I'm going to give you a sense of the range of messages, okay? Here's, on the one hand, this is from Eric. Eric says, hey, David, as a Jewish American struggling to articulate my thoughts on the current flare-up, your thoughts were welcome for their insight, clarity, and specificity. You are, to date, one of the few individuals I've seen criticizing Netanyahu, the Likud, and rightfully pointing out the problems with Hamas and the issues with leadership in the West Bank and Gaza. Our views largely align, although I've been doing additional research because my knowledge is mostly surface level and blah, 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 blah. I've not felt comfortable speaking my thoughts because I don't have the emotional energy to deal with what would be an onslaught, even from good friends and colleagues. Even though I'm not strongly affiliated with my heritage, I'm highly sensitized to anti-Semitism across the political spectrum. And what I'm seeing now is not entirely anti-Semitic, but so much of it is, and it's terrifying. I would have left this as a comment on the show, but this is a topic I have no interest in litigating with strangers on the web, but I want to thank you regardless. Nice message, right? Here's the other end of the spectrum. Fuck Israel from Ron. Okay? So, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2. So I think you get it. Quite a range of reactions. All right. All right. Thanks to Donnell Allen, who just pledged at patreon.com/David Pakman Show. And today only Patreon pledges count double. Patreon keeps more money than when you sign up on my website, but they do count double. Okay. Also, thanks to Hollerback A, as well as Cosmos and Zach Prakowski. Hold on here. Also, Joey Orozco, putting us at 54. Listen, the Twitch thing, if you know what's going on with Jeff Bezos, you understand the importance of using that Twitch Prime sub, okay? You don't have to use it on my channel, but at this point, it's just, are you giving the money to Bezos or are you giving it to a producer that you follow? And what I mean is anybody who's an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get one free Twitch Prime sub a month. You have to connect Amazon and Twitch. You make sure you're using it, because if you don't use it, Amazon just keeps the money. You can give it to me or someone else. I mean, listen, I'll take it. Obviously I'll take it, but make sure you're using the Twitch Prime sub. It does not renew automatically. You actually have to renew it each month. So very, very important thing. Okay, let's now get to, oh, hold on, just one. Can you react to Stephen McHale Davis? I have no idea who that is. Stephen McHale Davis? I don't know what that is. I don't even know what I would be reacting to. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Now I had a few other things. We did the Israel reactions. We did some of those early things. Okay, hold on. Let me pull this up here. 3-1. Okay, no, I just have to find it. I have copious notes here. Oh, okay, yeah. So here is another new caller. This is a new caller that we're introducing. They left me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 voicemails on Sunday. Let's just listen a little bit, okay? New caller. Let me know if this is someone you want featured prominently in the future.
Hey, Mr. Pakman. I watch your show all the time, so I'm pretty up to date, But here's another off the record, I'm in Chicago, and a lot of Chicago people are still wearing the mask, and that's fine because outside, but that's because Chicago and New York, they're kind of like, they don't go with CDC guidelines. They kind of say, we're going to wait and see watch our numbers. You know what I mean?
All right. So that went the full 3 minutes, then called right back. What's that music, by the way?
I just needed a fucking bit of a drink. But I just tried this new bar right around, and in Chicago, yeah, everybody.
Like, is this interesting or is it sad? We'll keep going a little bit.
Yes, unfortunately today, I have to watch CNN, MSNBC, and Fox just to watch them fucking be morons. And whatever else. But my point is you do, what's going on? Why did this Ukrainian guy say that they're not happy with America right now?
Yeah. All right. Then he got, I guess, into where he loved me part of the night. Here we go. It's actually just a bunch of, this was at 3:43 a.m.
Hey, love you, David. Love you, David Pakman. What the fuck, dude? What's going on with this Ukrainian shit? Because I'm very careful about what I watch now, because now we see the different side.
Yeah. This is 3:47 a.m. Long silence.
Well, I might have a drinking problem.
Okay.
But at least it's not a drug problem anymore.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That explains a lot of what's going on. Okay. Yeah.
I love you, David. I love you, David. But you gotta, like, be more honest now. What's going on with Ukraine? I just went to a...
Yeah, I just don't. Okay, so that's that. Anyway, I don't know if that's someone we want featured prominently on the show or not. But you guys can tell me. Okay, other super chats. Wow, David, very powerful F word with elements of toughness. Impressive. Do you think there's any realistic penalty Republicans can put in place to rein in MGT? I think you mean MTG for more and more escalating and absurd behavior. I don't know that they want to. I think they like her crazy behavior. Ryan says, given the election law changes happening in many states, do you think Biden will make a good faith attempt to combat this or push ineffectual change? I think he will make a good faith attempt, but it will not be determined by Biden whether it succeeds. Hi from France. We now have our own French Fox News called C News that's all in for the National Front. What do you think we should pay attention to when it comes to this TV channel? Salut. I don't know enough about it to say, JF, but that is interesting. Can you do a shout out to Vosh's charity stream and Twitch raid? He's raised money for Palestine Children's Relief Fund. Hold on a second. That rings a bell to me. Let me look that up. Yeah, Palestine Children's Relief Fund has been criticized due to its financial affiliation with the Holy Land Foundation, which was shut down for suspected funneling of donations to terrorist organizations. So no, that's not something I'm going to get involved in. That's not a good connection. Daniel Johnson says, David, have you gotten any Shiba Inu tokens? The next Dogecoin. Buy Shiba Inu, everyone. I've had Dogecoin for months. Don't know anything about Shiba Inu. Dominic says, I did indeed. I did indeed what? How should the U.S. intervene in the Palestine-Israeli conflict, if at all? I think no. I think that the U.S. should not. I mean, I don't know why. I wouldn't frame it that way. I want to say thanks to Mitchell Slagowski. Mitchell Slagowski just signed up at joinpacman.com and his new member number 55. 55. I also want to say thank you on Twitch to Ben Lewitt, Them11, Christopher Little, Seth, Suspect Aura, R Shaked, Thuford, T-Dog, Holler Back A, Cosmos. Oh, wait, no, two of those people I already thanked. So that's 7, putting us at 62. And as I mentioned, I have extensive videos of the backyard garden. And if we get to 100, I will debut those videos 3 ways, okay? Twitch sub counts as 1. Website membership counts as 1. Patreon pledge counts as 2 today only. That will count as 2. Really, really exciting. I see the coverage, Israel v. Palestine, but where was the coverage of the Saudi-led U.S.-backed coalition versus Yemen, at least in mainstream media? Don't know about mainstream media. I covered that during the Trump administration. Vosh had an interview with someone who was studied on the Palestine-Israel conflict and inner workings of politics, recommended. Okay, yeah, I'm so busy reading and producing my show, I just don't have time to watch anything. I wish I did. Okay, and then I had one other note. Let me find this 865. One other series of voicemails I wanted to play. Oh. This is completely unhinged here. Take a listen to this. This is another new caller, and you guys let me know if this is someone you want involved in the show.
Hey, so this message is for the racist, lying David Pacman. You have show after show where you go on about police being a threat to black community, where you go on about white supremacy being the biggest threat to community. If you ended all murders committed against black people by white supremacists, the murder rate for black people would drop less than 1%. Young black men.
Oh, okay, so he's doing, I think this is a race realist. Here's another one.
Hey, David, first of all, I want you to know I'm a bit of a fan. I watch your show regularly. But what I wanted to say was, I believe you to be an incredibly racist man who's doing nothing to help the black community.
Okay. Here's another one.
Hey, David, I know you're a coward and you'll never play this on your show. But the fact is, you talk about white supremacy and all this stuff being the biggest threat to black people.
Yeah.
Black men.
Okay, and then he goes into the race. I try to keep the race realism off because it does get demonetized often. He just kept calling back again and again. Let's see.
Hey, David, I can find about 20, at least, videos on the internet of you claiming that the biggest threat to black people is white supremacists.
Still on that topic. Here's another one.
Hey, David, I really would like to know why you never addressed the real threat to black lives. And
It seems pretty standard racist stuff. I'll do just one more. I don't think we need this guy on the show regularly. Yeah.
So I said the last time would be the last. But so I feel so dumb looking at all these messages. Listen, I think all white supremacists are complete morons. I think anybody that supported Donald Trump is a complete moron.
Okay.
I say, but when I see video after video online talking about how white supremacists are this huge.
All right, we're done. That's his topic. And it's like, all right, that's not a super exciting caller. Probably will not be a big player on the show. I want to say thank you to Andrew Crivello. Andrew just made a pledge to the David Pakman Show Patreon. And today only, in the interests of trying to get us to 100, Patreon pledges count double, putting us at 64. I also want to say thanks to M. Northrup, Grim Jaws, Run from the Sun, for the Twitch subscriptions, putting us at 67. The goal today, and I'll even, just to prove to you guys that I have it, okay? Here is, wait a second. Where is the garden video? I'm going to just show you, because I wouldn't want you to think that I'm lying. Whoa, hold on a second. I'm just going to show you one image from my garden video, which we will debut if we do get to 100 today. Check that out. Look at that Swiss chard. Look at this. Can you imagine? Okay, this leaf, maybe this, or some of these leaves aren't perfect, but this is just a little bit of a preview, okay? If we do get to the 100, the full garden, I'm going to be exposing my cukes and zooks, figuratively, of course. Okay, a few other super chats. Thanks to Zach Green, who says, keep up the good work. JF says, let me rephrase. Knowing what you know about Fox News, any suggestion to expose C News' propaganda? It's new here in France and gaining momentum. All the standard media literacy stuff. Look at their guest composition. Look at how they frame news stories. Do they deliberately skew and blur a news versus opinion? A lot of pretty standard stuff that can be done to call out biased media. JC Bing says, it is my birthday today. Would love it if you would wish me happy birthday on stream. Love your content. Yes, happy birthday, JC Bing. People in the chat, please wish JC Bing a very, very happy birthday. An incredible day. An incredible day. John says, have you seen Vosh's 24-hour stream for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund? No, I haven't seen anything. And as I mentioned just moments ago, that name rang a bell for me, and I just double checked. And the Palestine Children's Relief Fund has been criticized because of a financial affiliation with the Holy Land Foundation, which was shut down for funneling donations to terrorist organizations. So I'm not getting involved in any of that. I don't know anything about it. That's what I'm aware of with the PCRF. Everybody do their due diligence, but I'm not telling anyone to donate to anything that I am not 110% familiar with. Does adult-only laser tag and airsoft sound like a good bachelor or bachelorette for you? Yes, that sounds good. Have I ever been to Beavertail, Rhode Island? I have never been there. I know nothing about Beavertail. What are your thoughts on Kirsten Sinema from Tucson, Arizona? I don't have a particularly high opinion of her. Great show. Keep up the good work, David.
Motor Company Executive Chair Bill Ford
All right, so we're standing by for Joe Biden. Standing by for Joe Biden. Thanks to Bad Frog Lugubrious as well for the Twitch subs, putting us at 69. We will debut the full gardening video at 100 new members. The most direct way, remember, to support is always to go to joinpacman.com. That is absolutely the best way as we stand by for a big announcement from Joe Biden. Zachary Green says, can Democrats hold the House in 2022? They can. Will they is a different question. Jeremy says, boxers or briefs. This has been widely answered. Check out my YouTube video on boxers or briefs. I won't even answer it here because it's been discussed ad nauseum. Also, thank you to SpaceX NASA for the Twitch sub. People asking if David Chadman, on the heels of 40 subs donated today, is now the top donor on Twitch. No. Inconsolable is still the top Twitch donor with 550 subs donated, but David Chadman is now within striking distance at 363. That delta is now under 200. So that is getting very, very close. It's arguably closer than it has ever been. Liam says, have you ever heard of a band called Guided by Voices? No, I have not. How do I feel about Hassan Piker? Friend of mine. Would I ever do an interview? Sure, if he wants to interview me. Jody says, grow taters and onions. Just do it. I've never grown potatoes or any kind of onion. I would love to grow like a green onion. I love. I use it frequently. And I'd be very into that. That seems like a great idea. Rolling Stones or Beatles? I'm more of a Beatles guy than a Stones guy myself. That's a question from Jeremy Landry. Totally legitimate, fair question in every sense of the word. But I am definitely more of a Beatles guy. Big thanks to Bethany, who just made a pledge on Patreon, even though it's only one pledge. Today, Patreon pledges count twice. So that's number 71 and 72. We're doing a little bit of a double up there. Also, thank you to Rengar1TP for the Twitch sub. I'm actually excited. This garden video has been very much forthcoming. And I think people are going to be interested. We're going to do a virtual garden tour if we get to 100. And we're getting very close. I think we're definitely going to get there. Am I growing any types of cheese? No, that's not my understanding of how cheese works. But if I'm not understanding the question, then let me know. But I didn't know you could grow cheese. Donald says, at what point will Israel pull out the Jewish space laser that Marjorie Taylor Greene mentioned? Yeah, it's bound to come out soon. I can't imagine it would be too much longer. If there's ever been a time to use the Jewish space laser, you would think it would be very soon. Extremely soon, in fact, I would say. This is Bill Ford. We're not listening to Bill Ford, but there is a lot of competition growing in the electric vehicle space. I'm a convert to electric vehicles. I've had one now for a period of time, and there are so many interesting electric vehicle models coming forward. I got an email from a viewer the other day saying, David, I know you've owned Tesla stock for a while, but the Ford Mach-E is great. You'd better sell that stock. I say, let's make the pie bigger. Make the pie bigger and bigger and bigger. I think that that's a really great thing. Thoughts on Massachusetts lifting COVID restrictions May 29th? Lots of states are doing it. I think my prediction was that by Memorial Day, we would see more than half of states lift essentially all restrictions. So I'm not surprised. You know, whether it's right or wrong, that's for the public health officials to determine. It's exactly what I predicted. That's a pat on the, or hold on, that's a mallet on the back. And, you know, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Jeremy says, Stephen King or Dean Koontz? I've never read anything by Dean Koontz. So I guess I have to say Stephen King. And I've only read one thing by Stephen King. I want to say thanks to Raunchy Rick, as well as Rengar for gifting 5 subs. Also, Amusement Labs has signed up. That's 7, putting us at 80. I think we might debut this video. I think we might, because we're getting close. And nothing's happening over on the website side, though. We should really supplement with a little on the website, I think. By Stephen King, I read it's a relatively new one. Hold on. Stephen King books new. Which one did I read by Stephen King? It's not The Imposter. Hold on. Harper's. The Outsider. The Outsider is the only thing I've ever read by Stephen King. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a little too, I don't know. I enjoyed it. It didn't make me say I've got to read way more Stephen King. Thoughts on the Spanish-Catalan conflict? I don't know enough. I'm not the person to comment on that. I don't know enough about it. David, your garden pictures always brighten up the streams. Cannot wait for the full video. Any ideas what the announcement might be? Thoughts on motorsports? I don't know. I'm hoping it's something related to car chargers, and I don't know anything about motorsports. Might even say the laser will come out sooner than anyone has ever seen. Yeah, absolutely. Check out Guided by Voices. Great band. Plant the rooted stems of green onions from the store. They grow fast and you can harvest them several times. You can do the same with sprouted garlic. I am aware of that. Will the USA ever get out of the two-party system and calling everything that is good for the public communism? Maybe. As I've said, to get out of the two-party system, you've got to do campaign finance reform, because the way politics is financed in the U.S. just reinforces the two-party system. And I have a number of videos about that. I want to say thanks to Firewall CMD, who is new member number 81 today. Nanny of Many says, thanks for explaining things so well. I appreciate that. Danny says, David, as a trained chef who is morally opposed to factory farming, I appreciate it when people grow their own food. Absolutely. This is why I am excited about debuting. I'll give you another screenshot. Here's another still. Those are my cukes recently planted. Okay. The trellis is there. This is another moment from this video that I will release today if we get to 100 members. Those are my cukes. And then let's just skip to one other spot. That is my perennial thyme. It is a bush. It came back on its own because it's perennial. Really exciting stuff. All right. So we're going to look at that video in a lot of detail, potentially today. Jessica sends a super chat. Any updates on filling the David Pakman Show job opening? Yes. In the next 10 days, we will have our new person starting, and very, very excited about it. Ian says, hey, David, love the show. Question, have you heard of right-wing pundits like Leo Terrell gaining traction on Fox? I'm under the impression he's an example of someone taking a fat media deal from conservative media. I'm not particularly familiar with him. Ian Fraser with a 100 New Zealand dollar super chat. Really powerful. David, would you please use this for subs for those who have needed to cancel due to COVID hardship, please? Great perspicacity and insight. Yeah, that's a great idea. I don't know exactly how to do it. We have had, I'm not exaggerating here, hundreds of people cancel in the last month due to financial hardship. I know that, you know, I'm always supposed to pretend everything's great and that memberships are dumping it out of nowhere. They're really not. The last month, we've taken hundreds of cancellations. So I would love it if you helped us make up for that at joinpacman.com. And everybody gets a thank you. Sinenbend has just pledged via Patreon. Patreon counts twice today, putting us at 83. Also, thanks to Sankdem and Dan's News, as well as Leakin Lena, putting us at 86 today. Big Daddy Swaps is number 87. I believe we are going to hear from Joe Biden momentarily. A lot is happening at this Ford Vehicle Center. Getting very exciting there. Yeah, I know some people are furious that Patreon counts twice. It counts twice today, my friends. I'm curious if Biden will mention Tesla's massive new EV and battery factory going up in Austin. Yeah, I don't know if that's considered a faux pas to do it at an event at Ford. We'll see momentarily. Are you waiting on the Schengen to officially open before booking Spain? Are you leading to August? Asked Gabrielle. Just before going live, I have now held tickets to Spain for August. I'm holding them right now. I have a travel credit from a canceled COVID era flight that I want to apply to the ticket. For some reason, the website's not taking it. So what I've done is I've held the reservation. I've not yet made the reservation. And I hope to be able to do that later today. I actually have a wedding to go to in Italy, and I'm trying to combine it with visiting Spain. Barbara Fusco has just signed up at joinpacman.com. Barbara, you are a hero. A true hero, Barbara. Really appreciate it. Any thoughts on kids getting killed in Palestine, or it's always Hamas's fault, right, as you say? I have a 20-minute video about that yesterday, okay? There's no way to do justice to that in a minute. I have a 20-minute video about that yesterday. Thank you also to Kiteable, Two Starks, and Jaslyn Knights. New members 89, 90, and 91 today. We are getting dangerously close to releasing this hell of a video. The garden video. And I even have a bonus second video from the garden that I may show you later today. If you're just tuning in, you have not yet missed Joe Biden. We're standing by for Joe Biden at the Ford Rouge Electric Vehicle Center in, where is this? Is this in Michigan? Do we know? I believe it is. Yeah. Nobody knows. Okay. That's okay. The speech is about electric vehicles. My hope is it will be a blockbuster announcement about new electric vehicle chargers, including hopefully some ultra high speed ones. That's my hope. We will see what the announcement is. My conservative parents blamed the colonial gas shutdown on Biden. LOL. Yeah, I don't want to say your parents are stupid, but it's a really ignorant thing to say. There's no evidence of that at all because it's just not true. All right, here is President Joseph R. Biden Jr., maskless in accordance with CDC guidelines. Look at that jog. Have you ever seen Trump move like that? Wow, Stevie Wonder. What a day. I've never seen Trump move that way. That is something else. I love it.
My name is Joe Biden, and I'm a car guy.
Here we go.
Please sit down.
Please.
I got through high school and college and law school because my dad ran an agency. And I'm delighted to be here. And I want to say something else up front. I'm standing here because about 180 years ago, when I first got elected to the Senate, Gov, the UAW elected me.
Right.
We used to have the highest percentage of auto workers of any state in the nation because we had a small workforce and 2 giant plants plus Mopar and a few other things going on. So I want to thank you. Look, and I want to thank a good friend of mine, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. As my mother would say, Gretchen, God love you, dear. You've got a backbone like a ramrod. You got a brain as big as anybody in the business, and you are so honorable. It's a delight to know you, and anything I can do, as I said to you before, I'll come campaign for you or against you, whichever will help the most.
Right. That's pretty clever, actually.
I want to thank Angela. We were talking.
If it'll be useful, I'll campaign against you.
Yeah, on the other side of the truck. And I want to thank her very much for being so gracious. And Rory, I know you're new to the labor movement, but you're doing a pretty good job. Where is Rory? Rory, thank you, pal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And everyone at the UAW for being the best auto workers in the world. You know, and I want to thank Bill Ford and Jim Farley for hosting us and investing in our workers and in our country. We're at a great inflection point in American history. How we handle the next 4 to 10 years is going to determine where we're going to be 30, 40, 50 years from now. It's one of those moments in American history. This is an incredible facility. Representative Debbie Dingell, another dear friend. I know John's looking down and he's saying we're finally getting it done, huh? You're getting it done. Debbie, and Representative Dan Kildee is a good friend, Representative Brenda Lawrence. And by the way, be careful what you say to Representative Slotkin. She knows more than you. They may be watching you. Where are you? I tease her all the time. But she's a great, great, great addition to the Congress. And Rashid Tlaib, where's Rashid? I tell you what, Rashid, I want to say to you that I admire your intellect, I admire your passion, and I admire your concern for so many other people. And it's from my heart, I pray that your grandmom and family are well. I promise you I'm going to do everything to see that they are on the West Bank. You're a fighter, and God, thank you for being a fighter. And Andy Levin, know a lot of Levins, and Haley Stevens, I thank you all as well. And also want to thank Mayor Jim O'Reilly of Dearborn for the passport into the city. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And my buddy, Mike Duggan, he is my mayor. I was sitting one day in the Oval with Barack Obama, President Obama, when I was vice president. And he looked at me like it was just something off the hook. He said, by the way, I want you to go fix Detroit. I said, say that again? What am I going to do? He said, you can get anybody in the government to go with you. You just do it. First call I made was this guy. You brought it off his knees. You brought it back. You're a great mayor, and you're a great friend. You got a lot of courage, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. And two great friends, Debbie Stabenow and Gary Peters, who couldn't be here today because they're back fighting like hell, fighting for this industry and the people of this state and for labor. Labor, industry, federal, state, local leaders, all together. That's America at its best. And that's what I so admire about what Bill Ford's doing here. And I want to, so everything that these workers, this historic complex in the state represent is something that I hope gets modeled around the country. It's about respect. It's about dignity, the dignity of work. My dad used to say, Joey, and I swear to God, when he left Scranton, when Cole died, my dad was he was a salesperson. He wasn't a...
I love these stories.
Great-grandpa was. But
so quaint.
He said, he used to say when he moved to Delaware, he had to leave because there were no jobs, and he left us with our grandpa for a little over a year, and he commuted back and forth from Wilmington, Delaware to Scranton on the weekends. And we got back down to Wilmington, he used to say to all of us, and I was, I guess then I was going to third grade, and he'd say, Joey, remember, and I mean this sincerely, a job is about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about your place in the community. And I really mean this. It's about being able to look at your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's not labor, it's union. Because what you allow people to do is hold their heads up, make a decent living, and have pride in what they do. Pride in what you build, pride in what you give this nation. And I wanted to be here today, the day before you unveil the next generation of America's best-selling vehicle to the entire world, to thank you. Thank you for showing how we win the competition of the 21st century. You know, how the future is going to be made, but it's going to be made here in America. Made in America. I have to say, this brings me home. For more than 30 years, my dad, when we moved to Delaware, managed automobile dealerships in Delaware, including a Ford dealership. And man, did I like that 57 Ford Fairlane. Oh boy, it ain't got nothing on it.
I think my grandfather had a 57 Fairlane at one point.
All kidding aside, that's what got me through school. And you know, I doubt I'd be, I doubted that it would ever contribute $50 billion. $50 billion to support about 500,000 American jobs at 150. Half the 1 million American jobs Ford supports overall, like the 150 series. You know, I just got a tour of the groundbreaking electric vehicle center here, along with UAW workers. And they showed me the technology they're using to build this first ever fully electric F-150. I was able to sit in it, quite frankly. They let me see it, so I apologize to you and I won't see it till tomorrow. But damn, you're gonna like it. And I'd sure like to drive it.
All right.
I wonder whether or not I can lose the Secret Service and go out to the track.
Oh boy.
I'm kidding, don't you? I'm not. Look, the future of the auto industry is electric. There's no turning back. And as Rory says, the American auto industry is at a crossroads. And the real question is whether we'll lead or we'll fall behind in the race to the future.
Right.
Or whether we'll build these vehicles and the batteries that go in them here in the United States rely on other countries. Or whether the jobs to build these vehicles and batteries are good-paying union jobs with benefits, jobs that will sustain and grow the middle class.
Someone's going to build it.
Right now, China is leading in this race. Make no bones about it. It's a fact. You know, we used to invest more in research and development than any country in the world. And China was number 9.
Oh.
We now are number 8, and China's number 1. Can't let that be sustained. The future is going to be determined by the best minds in the world, by those who break through new barriers. You know, it has, China, the largest, fastest growing electric vehicle market in the world. And a key part of an electric vehicle is the battery. Right now, 80% of the manufacturing capacity of those batteries is done in China.
Right.
So not the battery for the F-150. We went down to Georgia and took care of that. It allows them to corner the market on the supplies of raw materials for those batteries. Importing almost all the lithium, 90%. It comes from countries from like Australia, which lead the world in mining these kinds of critical materials. And here's the deal. It's not that China's battery technology is that much more innovative than anyone else's. Remember, our national labs in the United States, our universities, our automakers led in the development of this technology. But today, China has a bigger manufacturing scale than all other countries. And they're using that scale to make these batteries not just in China, but they're making them in Germany and in Mexico. And they're now exporting those electric vehicles around the world with sights on the American market. And they think they're going to win. But I got news for them. They will not win this race. We can't let them. We have to move fast. And that's what you're doing here. When President Obama and when Barack and I were in office, that was what we're going to do. Remember 2009? The auto industry was flat on its back. And remember, I got criticized by the press because I was the auto guy pushing. Well, guess what? We were told that we'd never be able to sell American-made cars at the same rate as before. But we didn't listen. We bet on you, the American auto worker. We extended a lifeline and we stepped up, saved more than 1 million jobs. Working in the auto industry, we set fuel efficiency standards, provided incentives for folks to buy fuel-efficient vehicles. And through the Recovery Act, we made the largest investment in clean energy and battery technology ever. And the big three emerged from the crisis in a position to sell millions of vehicles.
Shot out of a cannon,
right
huh?
Here in the USA. But then the previous administration came into office. They rolled back the standards we set. Rollbacks that the Ford Motor Company opposed. Despite bipartisan support for consumer incentives, they let the federal tax credit expire, penalizing auto workers who were selling the most electric vehicles at the time. They announced Infrastructure Week, and they announced it, and announced it, and announced it, and announced it every week for 4 years and didn't do a damn thing. They didn't get the job done. Folks, the rest of the world is moving fast. They're moving ahead. They're not waiting for the United States of America. Government, labor, industry, working together have to step up. And we have a playbook that'll work. We're going to set a new pace in the previous administration's short-sighted rollback of vehicle emissions and efficiency standards, setting strong, clear targets where we need to go. It means passing the American Jobs Plan to do three things. One, transform our infrastructure. Our infrastructure is ranked like 38 in the world. It's the United States of America, for God's sake. We're going to put Americans to work modernizing our roads, our highways, our ports, our airports, rails, and transit systems. That includes putting IBEW members and the union workers to work installing 50,000 charging stations along our roads and highways.
Nice.
Our homes and our apartments.
That's what we want.
The IBEW is ready to do it, and they can. Two, we've got to boost our manufacturing capacity. That's why the American Jobs Plan invests in new and retooled union facilities, grants to kickstart new battery and parts production, loans and tax credits to boost manufacturing of these clean vehicles. It also makes the largest investment in research and development in generations. That's going to help innovate, manufacture, and build supply chains for batteries and semiconductors and small computer chips that make electric trucks and cars go to be even more reliant than they are now. It matters. The little things matter. We saw last night the United States Senate voted overwhelmingly to begin work on part of the bill that I've been pushing to strengthen our innovation and infrastructure by investing in research and development manufacturing.
That's pretty underwhelming. They voted to begin work on part of what I'm proposed. Like, I know this is the process, but it's underwhelming. I get it.
And your members of Congress here in Michigan, they know the value of manufacturing as well as anyone and are vital in pushing forward that bill and others. Never again should we be in a situation we face today with semiconductor shortages. The United States can't manufacture semiconductors. We were the beginning. You know, I think some people think I'm too proud of what the United States always did and why I get so frustrated when we're sliding. But I make no apologies for it. We know these kinds of federal investments work. It was the Defense Department and NASA that got the modern semiconductor industry on its feet decades ago. We started it. Your tax dollars. Our own Department of Energy pioneered and transformed the battery industry when Barack and I were in office. And through the Recovery Act, grants and loans, battery prices dropped 80%. 80%. Because we were looking forward. We need that same mindset today. We have to look forward. And, you know, we have to work to support consumers and these fleets. That means new purchasing incentives for consumers to buy clean vehicles like the electric Ford 150, a union-made product right here in America. But all the pieces must be made in America. It means spurring demand by converting the federal government's enormous fleet of vehicles into clean vehicles and supporting electric transit systems and school buses. Folks, when I got elected, I signed an executive order saying we're going to buy American. As president, I get to award contracts in the area of $600 to $700 billion a year, from building aircraft carriers to railings that go in buildings. Guess what? Representative Kildee knows I'm not letting a single contract to a single company that does not hire Americans have all American parts and has a supply chain that is an American product supply chain.
Wow.
And by the way,
wow,
that's not violating any trade agreement. It's been the law since the 30s, but no one's had the courage or the nerve to insist on it being applied. It's no violation of the World Trade Organization or anything else. If we're spending American tax dollars, we're able to say, buy American. But there's a lot of exceptions in the law. If you don't have the part immediately available at supply chain, you can go abroad and get it. And any one of the agencies can say, I can't find it here, I'm going somewhere. Not anymore. They got to go through the White House. Not a joke. Nobody can give that exception now. Because there's thousands of companies out there able to do, small companies, 3, 4, 10, 15 people, who can supply those pieces that they know they can compete for them. My brother has an expression. A guy named Pete McLaughlin was a great basketball player, played for Providence, was a good close friend. He'd say, Joe, you got to know how to know. You got to know how to know. We don't let the American companies know what's available to them, especially if they're small. So we have an office and a facility in the White House to let people know what's needed. And there's another thing we have in our playbook that's going to outcompete other nations. The biggest secret we have, the American worker.
Whoa.
Not a joke. We're the finest workforce in the world. It's our ace in that deck. Now, I know many of you watching at home are like the folks I grew up with in Scranton and Claymont, Delaware. They feel left out, left behind in an economy and an industry that's rapidly changing. I understand it, I really do. But we will leave no one behind. Nearly 90% of the jobs created in my American Jobs Plan do not require a bachelor's degree. 75% don't require an associate's degree. We're going to be working with companies and community colleges and technical schools and union-led apprentice and training programs to make sure that American workers will be prepared to compete with anyone in the world. Just like Ford does with its Workforce Training Center here in Dearborn. And when we invest in our infrastructure, we're going to buy American products, materials, services from American businesses, made in America. And we'll do everything in our power to encourage and protect the right of workers to unionize and collectively bargain.
Strong statement.
I met with, I think it was more than a dozen CEOs of the major Fortune 500 companies. We started off and I said, I want to be clear with you. I'm a union guy. And every one of them but one said, I understand. Because now they're realizing what Mr. Ford realizes, that you are the best workers available. You're the best trained. You're the most capable. And you save overall. Bottom line, American Jobs Plan is a blue-collar blueprint to rebuild America, a blue-collar blueprint to build America. And we need automakers and other companies to keep investing here in America and not take the benefits of our public investments and expand electric vehicles and battery manufacturing production abroad. We need you to deepen your partnership with the UAW, pay good wages, support communities like Dearborn across the country. We need to come together as a nation. The Vice President and I have had a number of meetings in the Oval Office with Republican leaders in Congress and members of Congress. We believe we can find a bipartisan deal on infrastructure. And we look forward to hearing more details of their proposal, which they're going to submit a counter proposal either later today or tomorrow to me. But we made one thing clear. We'll compromise, but doing nothing is not an option. Doing nothing is not an option. The world is not waiting, I say for a second time. I'll conclude with this. Last month, I kept my commitment to convene the leaders of the major economies around the world, from Russia, China, India, Japan, the European Union.
That's true.
I convened them all. I think there are 48 or 50 heads of state, presidents and prime ministers. A meeting I hosted by the White House, one of the most consequential issues facing the world, the climate crisis. And I made it clear at the outset, as each of these folks came on, what I've long believed. When I think of the climate crisis, beyond its devastation to lives and livelihoods and health of our very planet, I think jobs. I think jobs when I think climate change. Good paying union jobs. I think about the UAW workers here today. I wanted to make sure that the world could see that there was a consensus, that we are at an inflection point in our history, and almost every major leader in the world spoke to it. If we act to save the planet, we can create millions of good-paying jobs, generate significant economic growth and opportunity to raise the standard of living for people not only here, but around the world. But I also wanted to put the world on notice. America is back. America is back. And the competition
Shot out of a cannon.
For the 21st century, the future will be built right here in America. Look at this plan. We're moving, we're working again, we're dreaming again, we're discovering again, we're leading the world again. We have shown each other in the world that there's no quit in America. There's simply no quit in America. And that's never, ever. It's every time I have these sometimes knockdown, drag them out with heads of state in private, they'll say something, I say, look, it's never been a good bet to bet against America.
Never.
Never, never, never. This is the United States of America. There's not a single thing, and I believe this every fiber of my being, not a single thing, nothing beyond our capacity when we act together. And that's exactly what we're about to do, starting with all of you, and thank you for allowing me to be here. May God bless you, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, there is Joe Biden. A very big electric car charger announcement, which hopefully he will be able to get funded, right? I mean, that's really the question there. But there goes Joe Biden putting his mask on, although he showed up with it off. And let's see if he'll jog out. No jogging right now. All right, let's see if we can get this garden tour video, which we've been teasing. I think people are going to like this. Let's see if we did it, okay? Hack Fooey just grabbed a Twitch sub and is number 93. Hack Fooey says, with a message, Central Committee was talking smack about you. He sounded jealous. Central Committee sounds like an entity, like an organism. A committee is an entity. What does that mean, he? It's a committee that identifies as male. I don't know what that is, but a lot of people talk smack about me. I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully they made some money off of it, you know? I hope it trickles down, I guess I would say. But no, I don't know what that means. Let's see. Fixie Goob has signed up and is number 94 via Twitch. Shot Thomas is number 95. And Caspa is number 96. Next, I think we're going to make it, guys. Roxana Onuwa just signed up at joinpacman.com. Andrew Crivello just signed up at joinpacman.com. Gabrielle Hartman just signed up. And Melissa Norries just signed up. That is 100. And then just to put us over the top, Rue Dobbs, I like that. Rue Dobbs just made a Patreon pledge. Patreon counts double today. Double. So we've done it. We've done it, and I am now going to show you. This is the 2021 garden. Heretofore unseen. I will give you a full tour of it. In all seriousness, though, if you're an Amazon Prime member, make sure you're using your Twitch Prime sub for someone. It doesn't have to be me. I would love it if it were. That's $5 that either it stays with Bezos or you give it to an independent producer on Twitch. So just make sure you're using it. That's my message, okay? All right, let's jump in here. I will pause and explain what's going on. This is Swiss chard right here, 2 Swiss chard plants, and this is a jalapeno pepper, all right? So the chard is mostly looking good. That one leaf there, not great. Here's a pepper plant. No peppers yet, but that is that's a jalapeno plant. All right. So Swiss chard and jalapeno. This is a purple lettuce. It's doing really well. I had some of it last night in a salad for dinner. I don't even know what it was called gourmet lettuce mix when I planted it. But I just call it purple lettuce. Look at that growth, though. Really strong growth coming in from the middle. This is my perennial mint. Now, the soil looks like crap because since it's a perennial, I didn't want to kind of like re-till it this season. So I haven't touched it. And it's like there's little stones and stuff in it. But mint is so robust that it's coming back on its own really, really strongly. Now, one thing that is concerning me is last year I had two types of mint. I had like a spearmint and some other mint. One was fuzzy, one was not. Only one of the types of mint has come back, so that's cool. This is a tomato. These are, I believe these are called chocolate minis. It's like a brownish red almost. I don't think it tastes like chocolate. I think it's just the color. So that's pretty nice. That's Genovese basil. This is parsley. Here's another, what is that? Sun sugar yellow tomatoes. These are still pretty early on right now. All right. And then a little more of my Genovese basil. A lot of basil happening. I actually planted purple basil and Thai basil, and then I was away for a week, and they really need water at the beginning. So I already lost my purple basil and my Thai basil. I'm hoping now to keep the basil alive. All right. Sun sugar yellow cherry hybrid tomato. Yeah. So that's that. So a bunch of different stuff. All right. Here's my biggest tomato plant. And as you can see, I've sort of kept it neat. I've gotten rid of the suckers and I've gotten rid of a lot of those low branches. Last year that worked and I got hundreds of tomatoes. Now that looks like a weed there. Oh, I pull it. Look at that. Done. These are my cukes. My cukes are really sad and tiny. I planted this a little too late. But as you can see, the trellis there. So hopefully these will soon start to grow and go up the trellis. This is what's called a lemon cuke. I had never seen this before. They're yellow. I don't know that they taste like lemon, but they are yellow cucumbers. Yeah. All right. Then look at this. These are my green peas. Look at these robust tendrils. Have you seen tendrils like this before? These are going wild. I think I have 4 plants. They're going everywhere. So I really am hoping to get some really strong, I believe these are sugar snap peas. Sugar snap peas. And they are just shooting tendrils everywhere. Some of the tendrils are wrapping around each other. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Those are going. This is my, so I have 2 types of oregano. I guess it's like Italian oregano and Greek oregano. I think this might be the Greek. I didn't even plant this. I didn't think oregano was a perennial. It came back on its own. I just gave it a haircut and made a huge pesto out of it. Incredible growth, robust, strong growth for the Greek oregano. This is another type of pepper. I believe that this is a banana pepper plant. My pepper plants always grow really slowly, and then all of a sudden I get a bunch of peppers. Here's another tomato very early on, and then here's another pepper. I know that the pepper's too close to the tomato. I understand that. You don't need to tell me. I know it's supposed to have like 3 feet or something crazy. It did okay last year. It just ended up being close together. What can I do, okay? Please don't shame me. Here is the Italian oregano. And again, look at this growth. I have done nothing with it. Last year, it was good. I just trimmed this and it's already just exploding. Here's my thyme, also doing really well. Cilantro, I've never had cilantro do this well. I think the difference is this year I separated out the cilantro a little bit at the base instead of planting it all in a really small space. Just spread it out. These are Japanese eggplants. Now, what I did, I planted the one on the right first, which as you can see is bigger, and it did well enough that I said, I'm going to get a second plant. If you put all your eggs in one basket with eggplant, you might get nothing. So I got a second Japanese eggplant. That's on the left. I'm hoping I get one eggplant out of it. I don't know what I'm doing with eggplant. I've never planted it before. So I think that hopefully will be nice. And then this is the big boy. This is my strawberry plant. Now, strawberries are perennial. Last year, many of you remember the infamous strawberry eating video. I got 6 red strawberries last year, and I knew that it was really a 3-year project. Look at this. This is all, I mean, it's early in the season. I think there's 20 or 30 strawberry buds here. Look at some of these. Look at that, huh? Now, I know that this early in the season, some people say to pull the flowers and let the plant grow, and then later let the strawberries do. I'm just leaving it. And it's even shot out sorry, what's it called when it shoots out a new thing? A runner. And it's almost like an entire second strawberry plant. And as you can see right here, we've already got a bunch of strawberries going. So that's the strawberry plant, really doing well. I have high hopes. And then my chard is still there, didn't go anywhere. So that's exciting stuff. Okay. And then lastly, here's a bonus. I do have romaine growing as well. Okay. So this is just a little bit of a bonus. It's because people were so polite today. I'm going to show you guys my romaine. Hold on. Where is this? Here we go. So look at this. This is 4 romaine plants. I harvested harvested the large leaves yesterday and made a salad with that purple lettuce. Really nicely growing. Really, really nicely growing. That's some nice romaine. And just great. Just great. A lot of thickness on the leaf. Yep. Very, very much so. I didn't really know how to harvest this, so I just went in and took the biggest leaves and just cut them carefully down at the base. All right, guys. So that's the garden. That's what I've got going. As things like, I think the lettuce doesn't last long into the season. So once it's done, I think the lettuce will only go through June. I'll plant something else in. That's my idea. Okay. Jeremy says, where's the tomatoes? I showed you my 3 tomato plants. Yeah. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay. All right, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who subbed via Twitch. Remember to use those Twitch subs. Use them for someone. Okay. Go ahead and grab those website memberships. We love the super chats. We have many, many more streams coming this week. And I will keep you posted from the standpoint of fruits and vegetables. All right, everybody. See you very soon.